Before we start, we're going to give all praises to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, Waha, Raka, Kodash.
Yeah, double honors to the elders and apostles in Israel, who will teach all. The Akims of the Iris and Virus and those pushing videos in truth and sincerity to the brothers and sisters in the truth. And what would someone grab Ecclesiastes 1? And 1 Corinthians 14 and 32. Yeah. So you have to remember that the Bible teaches that the spirit of the prophets. That's right.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, and verse 32. And it reads, and the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
So the prophets that were of old, their spirits come back.
That's right.
And they come back as prophets as well. So today, the prophets that were out then, their spirits are back here today upon the earth. It shows you that, you know, what is it? Regeneration. The Bible speaks about that.
Okay, let me explain reincarnation, because me and the brother were going through it, and he said it's reincarnation, isn't it?
Regeneration, reincarnation.
Because like reincarnation means fact of repeating incarnation, right? So the re is back, incarnated in the flesh. So back in the flesh, a new embodiment. Alright? So that's reincarnation. Some people will argue that. Some people will argue that. So people will argue that reincarnation means flesh and you can come into an insect. It doesn't work like that. If you were a spirit before, you can't come back. If you were a prophet, you can't come back becoming a lion. See, the Elam, because other nations, they come with their own philosophy, but we want to,
Come back as an insect, come back as a cow, you can come back as a
So that's the definition of reincarnation. But reincarnation, actually, spirit that were there before coming back. If you were a prophet, that's why he says, the spirit of prophet, you cannot be a prophet, you come back as a, I don't know, something else. No, you don't come as a prophet.
If you're wicked,
you'll come back as a wicked. So when you see wicked people be wicked, they're in a portion. Some people don't even know how to be good. You think the killer get up and kill people just to kill? No, it's in his spirit. Alright, to be a killer.
It's the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 14, and verse 32. And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets.
like I was saying, if he was a prophet before, he'll come back as a prophet. Right. You're not going to come back, you won't be a man before and come back as a woman. You come back in your lot. So, read start from verse 4.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 4. It reads, one generation passeth away, and another generation cometh, but the earth abideth forever.
So, when they say the end of the world, it's talking about the end of the rulership. Because the scripture tells us that the earth abideth forever.
Verse 5. The sun also ariseth, and the sun goeth down.
What it's doing is showing you the cycle, everything goes on a cycle. It says the sun ariseth and the sun goeth down.
And hasteth to his place where he arose. Verse 6. The wind goeth towards the south, and turneth about unto the north. It whirleth around, it whirleth about continually, and the wind returneth again according to his circuits.
So it's showing you the sun does its circuit, the wind does its circuit, so it's not no new sun, it's not no new breeze we're feeling. Good.
Verse 7. All the rivers run into the sea, yet the sea is not full. Unto the place from whence the river came, hither they return again.
So even with the rain that we get, I remember in school they show you Like, you know, you got the sea, the sun makes it evaporate, turns into cloud, rains, goes down.
Recycling.
So everything goes in a cycle. God.
Verse 8. All things are full of labor. Man cannot utter it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. Verse 9. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be. And that which is done is that which shall be done.
Yeah, that's right.
Verse 9 of Ecclesiastes chapter 1. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be.
So it says the thing that has been is that which shall be.
That's right.
So we need to find out what that thing is.
It's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 10. That which have been is named already, and it is known. That is man. Neither may be...
That which has been.
That which have been is named already,
That which has been is named already. Good.
and it is known. That is man.
So it's telling you that even us, we go in a cycle. And this is why the brother started off with the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets.
Right.
Our spirit comes back again. Finish yourself again.
I'll take it from the top of verse 9. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9. The thing that has been, it is that which shall be.
And we know that that thing is the man. Go on.
And that which is done is that which shall be done.
That's right.
And there is no new thing under the sun.
Nothing new under the sun. So the sun, it does a circuit, it rises, goes down. The wind does a circuit, goes from where it starts back again. The rain does a circuit, and our spirit does a circuit. Now when we die, what happens to us when we die?
It's the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 7. And it reads, Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was.
Right?
And the spirit shall return unto God Yahweh.
So this body that we're in, that returns to the dust, but it says the spirit returns back to the Most High who gave it. Now can you read
Let's say when you die, obviously when you die, your spirit goes. Can I read something before the free? Finish that first.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 7. And it reads, Then shall the dust return to the earth as it was.
So this body returns to the dust.
And the spirit shall return unto God Yahweh.
That's right.
He gave it.
And like I say, when you read Ecclesiastes 18 and 4, it says all souls are mine. So that's what happened. The body goes back to the earth, the spirit goes back to the Most High, because your spirit don't die.
The fleshly body, because there's another body that's waiting for you. So the fleshly body. Now when you go up, right, the brother say, when you go up, this is not the end, because our people, they will say, I live my life, okay, it's not 34.
So that's what happens when we die.
Get up!
Okay. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 20.
Get out!
All go unto one place.
When you die, all souls go onto one place. Yeah, the good and the bad go to one place.
All are of the dust, Kalakia. Let me read that again. Ecclesiastes 3 and 20. All go unto one place. All are of the dust, and all turn to dust again.
Yeah, so Job 3 and 17. It says all go to one place.
The book of Job chapter 3 and verse 17. And it reads, There the wicked cease from troubling, and there the weary be at rest. Verse 18. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor.
That's right.
Verse 19. The small and great are there, and the servant is free from his master.
When you die, your spirit goes back to the Most High. Yeah, whether you're good or whether you're bad, your spirit goes back to the Most High. Your oppressor ain't oppressing you there. So,
Right, that's right.
Ecclesiastes 3 and 20. All go unto one place. All are of the dust and turn to dust again. Verse 21. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upwards, like the upwards, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth.
that's what we're saying, you know. Most High calls back his spirit to himself. Yeah? What happens when the Most High calls us back? What happens? He judges us, he passes judgment, and we come back 3 or 4 generations later to play out that judgment. Now, if you quickly grab Exodus 25, and you read that in 3 and 16.
It's the book of Exodus chapter 20 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
And it reads, Thou shalt not bow down thyself
Talking about images,
to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation.
And it says he visits the sins of the fathers onto the children. Now when you read Ezekiel 18, it tells you that the son will not suffer for the sins of the father.
Let me read something as well, like 24 as well. Maybe something quickly that goes into what you said.
Yeah, so it tells you that the father will not suffer. It tells you that the father will not suffer, the son will not suffer for the sin of the father. So is the Most High lying or confused? No, that's because your spirit comes back. Yeah, you were your forefathers.
That's right.
Yeah, this is why you're getting judged. Get Lamentation 5 and 7.
Read that one. Goes into what the brother just read. Have you done that? Finish it.
Not yet, but you want me to hold.
Yeah, no, that's what I want.
Oh, that's what you want. Okay.
Deuteronomy 24 and 16. The fathers shall not be put to death for the children, neither shall the children be put to death for the fathers. Every man shall be put to death for his own sin.
So read that again.
This is Exodus chapter 20 and 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 5 and verse 7. And it reads, Our fathers of an hour have sinned and are not.
So our fathers have sinned and now they're dead. Good.
And we have borne their iniquity.
So is that contradictory? Because the brother just read that the father's not going to pay for the sins of the son and vice versa. No, that's because you come back. Yeah, your spirit goes back to the Most High. You get judged and you come back.
Ecclesiastes 3 and 16. And moreover, are so under the sun the place of judgment.
It says, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. This is where judgment is taken out. Yeah, this is where judgment, I should say, is meted.
It's like, it makes sense. It's like you go to court, but when they pass judgment, there's a place where you actually live the sentence. It's a prison. So it's the same thing in the spiritual realm. You go back over there, there is a court. After a while, you get judged. But your prison now is where? Earth. That's your hell. Hell is not hell. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment.
So under the sun the place of judgment.
That wickedness was there. and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there.
This is where we pass out judgment. This is where we play out snappy, I should say.
Exactly. This is where you play your movie. The movie that was given to you.
Yeah.
The streets. You know?
When you go back, this flesh dies.
Ezekiel chapter 18 and verse 19.
You know?
Yet say ye, why doeth not the son bear the iniquity of the father, when the son hath done that which is lawful and right, and have kept all my statutes, and have done them? He shall surely live. The soul that sinneth, it shall die.
The soul that sinneth shall die, God.
The son shall bear the iniquity. The son shall not bear the iniquity of the father, neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the son.
So that's letting you know that you come back, otherwise the Most High is in contradiction. Yeah?
The righteousness of the righteous shall be upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. But if the wicked will turn from all his sin that he hath committed, and keep all my statutes, and do that which is lawful and right, he shall surely live. He shall not die.
So it says, the son shall not bear the iniquity of the father. So the Most High ain't unjust. So when it says in Lamentations 5 and 7, our fathers have sinned and are not, and we upon their iniquities, we've been judged. We come back 3 or 4 generations later, we're playing out the judgment for that sin.
It's the book of Hebrews chapter 9 and verse 27. And it reads, and as it is appointed unto men once to die, right, so lucky, once to die, but after this, the judgment.
Yeah, so when we die, you get judged, and you play your judgment upon the earth. Yeah, so this is where we play our judgment upon the earth.
Second verse 14 and 34. Therefore, no, 35. For after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again.
It says after death shall the judgment come. So a lot of people actually get 7 and 56. A lot of people think that they can die and avoid judgment, but it says, but after death shall the judgment come, when we shall live again. And what you're doing, you're living again and you're playing out the judgment that the Most High passed upon you.
2nd Ezra 7 and 56. For while we lived and committed iniquity, we considered not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. And that's why there's the rapper now, he was rapping, he said something like, after you, when you die, you know, you go, and that's it. Like there's a nothingness after death, which is a lie, because when you read the Bible, yo, that's why you should be careful how you live. Yeah? Don't think that you can just live anyhow. Even if you don't pay for the sin on that road right now, the Most High will get you when you come back. And that's the reality of it. Yeah. That's the reality of things.
And that's the greatness of the Most High. This is why you have to fear him, because if he could avoid judgment because of death, he's not really that high, you know?
It's like, just to add to what the brother says, just like I hear some people say, oh, it doesn't matter, when I'm dying it doesn't matter. But would these scriptures make sense if that you can die and everything's good and you just avoid judgment? Then what would be the point of this being written?
And that's why me and the brother had a conversation about what happened to the two-thirds in the kingdom, right? And to me, that's right. And to me, it only makes sense that the Bible said in Matthew 5:18 and 19 that those who don't teach the law and those who don't keep the law will be the least in the kingdom. So right now, there's Israel like, you know what, I can see, I don't care. I'm Israel, I will come back to the kingdom anyway. But you understand, that's why Daniel 12, 1 talks about, no, 2, talks about some who wake up in eternal content. Because you will be released. You will see the glory of those who were fighting as prophet. They might have been through hardship and everything, but they conquered death and now they're ruling. You were living your life on this side, but now you're the least. You are at the bottom in the kingdom. So you should take that into consideration when you come in truth. You might, go through hardship right now, but if you hold on, you will be the top in the kingdom. Just like you got Jay-Z being the top here and we at the bottom. Because he took his consolation, so he's right there with Esau. But you going through what you're going through and keeping the faith, right? And keeping the testimony of Yahweh, it will get you a long way, man, because there's a reward to that. You know?
Yeah, so read
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 1. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me.
That's right.
And the Lord, Yahweh, whom ye see, shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant.
They said he's going to send his messenger. Now this is Elijah he's talking about. Yeah?
4, 5. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 4 and verse 5, and it reads, Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day
where the
of the Lord
in
Yahweh.
chapter 3, verse 1, that was talking about Elijah, the prophet. Now, we got 11 and
Matthew 17.
yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I think what you need to do is read Matthew 17, 11 and 13.
10.
Yeah, 10 and then 13.
Yeah, because this is going to even show you, because last week we was talking about, brothers that have died like Enoch, Elijah. Because some people still thought that Elijah didn't die. But if he says he's going to send Elijah the prophet before that day, read this 16 and 7. This is going to prove that Elijah also died, 17 and 10.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 17 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
It reads, And his disciples asked him, saying, Why then say the scribes that Elias must come first? In verse 11. And Yahushua, which you call Jesus, answered and said unto them, Elias truly shall first come and restore all things. Verse 12. But I say unto you that Elias is come already, and they knew him not, but have done unto him whatsoever they listed. Likewise shall also the Son of Man suffer of them. Verse 13. Then the disciples understood that he spake unto them of John the Baptist.
Now when you read Luke 1, it tells you about the birth of John the Baptist. So if Yahushua is saying that John the Baptist is Elijah, obviously Elijah had to have died anyway, but it's also showing you that your spirit comes back. Because Elijah was a prophet, John the Baptist was a prophet. What do you say? The spirit of the prophets
Is subject to his prophet.
Exactly.
Can you read Matthew 3 and 1 again?
That's what
Sorry.
Yeah,
Malachi 3 and 1.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 1. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me.
Right, so that's Yahushua talking through to Malachi, right? Telling him that, what's his name? Elijah was going to come. So at that point, Elijah was John the Baptist, right? He came as John the Baptist. Now, can someone read Malachi 4?
I'm there.
Read 5.
4 and 5. This is the book of Malachi, chapter 4 and verse 5.
Yeah.
Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet.
Right. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet. So Yet, right now you go, Elijah, that's the second time Elijah is coming, but we're going to identify when you do come, right? Carry on.
Before the coming of the great and dreadful day
Before the coming of the dreadful
great and dreadful day of the Lord Yahweh.
Now, when you go to Malachi 3 and 1, and you link it up to Matthew 17, 10 and 13, he came, that's what Yahushua was telling them, but he came already, you don't even know. That was Elijah coming as John the Baptist. So the first time he came to do was to clear the way for Yahushua. So he came then when Yahushua was alive. And now John the Baptist, right? Now read 6 of Malachi 4.
4 and 6. So this is the book of Malachi, chapter 4 and verse 6. And he shall turn the heart, the mind of the fathers to the children, and the heart, the mind of the children to their fathers.
That's right. Now, it's very important to identify those two events, because what happened is that when he first came as John the Baptist, at that time, most Hebrew Israelites knew who they were. Right? Although they were like, following the law some way, somehow, not really following it, but they knew what they were because they were following the feast, were intact at that point. They was going to follow. So now, he's coming at a different time now. Right? Read 6 again. I will explain it. Read 6 again. 6.
And he shall turn the heart of the fathers.
And he shall turn the heart of the fathers
to the children.
Right. So I'll give you an example. If I didn't know my dad, right? And at some point, someone tells me, oh, I know where your dad is. So, and I go and meet him. That's what it means. There's a reconciliation now. I didn't know my dad, but now I know my dad. And he goes to Jeremiah 17 and 4. There was a point of time where we didn't know who we were. And that time, what happened? That was right even before slavery in West Africa. How people knew they were Hebrew Israelites, but they were still going off. But after slavery, in slavery and after slavery, that's when we completely lost our identity. So this is the time now where Elijah will come, and then he will turn the heart of the fathers to the children. And in our time, we know that around 1969, there was a guy called Abba Bivens. Obviously, the slavery people know that they were Hebrew Israelites, but not like he came with the volume of the book. He told us who we were, and he told us who the enemy is, who he is today, and what's his name according to the Bible. All right. So that's how you know that reincarnation is a real thing. But John the Baptist, or Elijah, I would say, came in our time, through Abba Bivens, and he gave the word.
Read John 1:19.
This is the book of John, chapter 1 and verse 19. And it reads, and this is the record of John. When the Jews sent priests and Levites from Jerusalem to ask him, who art thou? Verse 9:20. And he confessed and denied not, but confessed, I am not the Christ. Verse 21. And they asked him, what then art thou, Elias?
So this is the Jews that asking John the Baptist, are you Elias? What does he say?
And he said, I am not.
So was Yahushua lying when he said that John the Baptist was Elijah?
Art thou that prophet? And he answered, no.
So the question is, why did John say he was not Elijah the prophet when Yahushua already confirmed that he was? Read 1 and 11.
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 1 and verse 11. And it reads, there is no remembrance for former things.
Actually, start at 9.
Okay. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 1 and verse 9.
Read it.
And it reads, the thing that has been, it is that which shall be.
And we show that thing is man. Like everything goes on a cycle.
And that which is done, is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. Verse 11. There is no remembrance for former things.
This is why when the Jews then was asking John the Baptist, are you Elijah? This is why he said no. And we don't remember who we were back in our past times. But it's just to show you that we actually come back, our spirits come back in a different flesh. Now read John 9 and 1. 9 and 1. No, John. Now this is where they come across a blind man, but we need to listen to the questions that they ask him.
This is the book of John, chapter 9 and verse 1. And as Jesus, Yahushua, passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth.
So this brother was blind from birth. Now listen to the question that they asked him.
Verse 2. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents?
He said, who did sin? Did the man sin or his parents born?
That he was born blind.
That's right. You can understand the parents sinning, and the Most High judged them, and for that judgment, their child was born blind. But how could he have sinned to have been born blind unless he was here prior and he's been judged? But in this case, did man...
Logic.
In this case, the man didn't do nothing wrong. He was only born blind so that Yahushua could heal him.
Verse 2. And his disciples asked him, saying...
I know that.
This is the book of John, chapter 9 and verse 2. And his disciples asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents?
That's the question. Who sinned, the man or his parents?
That he was born blind. That he was born blind. Verse 3. Jesus, Yahushua, answered, neither hath this man sinned, nor his parents, but that the works of God Yahweh should be made manifest in him.
So this is why this man was born blind, so that Yahushua could come and heal him and show his power. But the fact that the disciples asked, who did sin that he was born blind, the man or the parents? Then you had the Jews asking John the Baptist, are you that prophet? Are you Elijah? Yeah, this is showing you that our foreparents knew that we come back.
They knew about reincarnation.
Yeah, they knew.
It was a common thing. You know,